Yo, that's freaking sweet. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pedal Down 4x4, and on today's episode we are going to air up the Oris. Alright, let me take a sit down. Last episode you guys would have seen the regulator not working, or we didn't have a regulator. I didn't grab one, unfortunately, so I got one. It's like 9 o'clock at night right now. My wife and my daughter are sleeping. I just got my daughter to bed, and I could not wait to air up this truck. So I already have the lines hooked up to each Schrader valve. It's super easy to do. I have that to control. I'm set at 300 psi right now to start airing it up. I'm gonna control the flow with that valve right there, and then we're gonna set the ride height. I just want to see this thing lift up. I've been waiting so long for this, so I couldn't contain it till tomorrow. So let's air up the truck, and then we'll continue this video on tomorrow. So let's get it. Okay, so hopefully alright, so hopefully you guys can see the truck. I'm gonna air it up and we'll take a look. I'm gonna put a tape measure right here. Yo, that's freaking sweet. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's so cool. Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same video. I just had to do this. This is freaking sweet. Alright, you guys, so it is the next day, and check her out. Oris are all aired up, both sides. I did have to air up this side a little bit more. This side set at about 350 psi on the top chamber, 150 on the lower. That side set at 375 on the top and 150 on the bottom. And the reason for that is because if you have a Tacoma, chances are for long enough, I'm not sure in the newer ones, but they have a thing called taco lean, and majority of that is because of the gas tank, you know, the battery. All the heavier stuff is on the driver's side of the car, so it tends to lean over to one side. They call it the taco lean. But it's super easy on this setup because you just air up one side a little bit more, you put a little more pressure, and you get it to the exact same. So right now it's 4 inches of exposed Ori on the bottom. That's going to give me a bunch of down travel and good enough up travel, but there's still a bunch of things to do. So majority of the straight front, straight axle, solid axle, whatever you want to call it, stuff is done on the truck. Now it's all the tedious little things, all the stuff that's like the last 10% of any project takes the longest. If you build something, it's all the little things. So in the box I have over here, move this over, I have some of these things. So I have hoses, more hoses, breathers, but this is what I want to tackle today. Now this is a cab mount bushing, so this is all of these body mounts. So you can see this body mount is absolutely cooked. All the body mounts are cooked in the truck. So let me grab a pry bar and I'll show you how bad this is. Okay, so I had to go put my daughter to sleep. She was being a little cranky, but pry bar, check this out. So got the pry bar between the frame and the body, and check this. Yo, that's a good ½ inch of movement. I can almost take it off. So we got the new body mounts here. These are from Energy Suspension. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them on the table right here, and then I'll show you guys how to do your body mounts. Super easy to do, but I'll show you guys the way I do it. So see you in a bit. Okay, so I got all the body mounts laid out if you order this kit from Energy Suspension, they have a bunch of mounts. It shows you exactly how to mount them, so you can't really mess this up. I mean, you could, but it's really hard to do it. They even show you where the mounts go, what position, blah blah blah, and then it shows you how to do it. So this is the way these guys have it labeled out is exactly how I do it. So when you do your body mounts for your truck, you're gonna loosen up one side. So I'm probably gonna start on the passenger side, so I'll loosen up all the bolts, and then you're gonna pull off the bolts on the driver's side. The reason why is because you're gonna take your jack, like I have right here, and a block of wood. You're gonna put it up against the body, and you're gonna jack up the body just ever so slightly, where you can get the mounts off. The reason why you don't want to take off all 4 or all 6 of the mounts is if you do take off all 6 of the mounts, the body can literally come off and slide off the frame. And if your body slides off the frame, that's a bit of an issue. So we're gonna loosen up all of these guys, and I'm gonna pull off the driver's side mounts. So for the Tacoma, for the extra cabs, I even think for the 4 doors for the first gens, you're gonna have one mount here, there's gonna be another mount right here, and there's gonna be another mount like back here somewhere, and that's gonna be the 3 on this side and the 3 on the other side. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, loosen up all these bolts, pull those ones off, and show you guys the process of actually installing new mounts. This is not a body lift for anybody wondering. This is not a 1-inch, 2-inch, 3-inch body lift. This is literally just the mounts. So I'm just replacing the mounts. They're just so worn out. They're terrible. Like, I mean, the truck's almost 30 years old now, so what do you expect? But look at this. And it doesn't help that I've also been welding right here, but look at that. I can almost take it off. That's absolutely insane. So yeah, I'm gonna get these off and I'll show you guys what it looks like. See you in a bit. Okay, so I got the body off on this one side. This side is loose, but it's loose. All the bolts are off of this side. So this is basically your old body mount. See how this guy's all like, it's hammered. Look at this thing. So that's gross. So this is gonna be the new body mount. So I'll show you guys how that's set up. So when you guys are setting up your body mount, it's not this whole thing that's going in there. What's gonna happen is this guy splits in half. So if I could do this with one hand, there you go. This is going to go on the top. You're gonna have one big washer. It goes like this. You're gonna have this little insert. This is gonna go all the way through, like so. That washer is gonna go on the top. This goes through that little metal bracket. So this part's gonna be sticking out on the bottom. This piece goes in the bottom, followed by another little washer. This kit, because it is not a lift, it's just a body mount, you're gonna have to reuse your bolts. This one's a little bit crusty, so I'm gonna wire wheel this guy up and put some anti-seize on it. But yeah, I'm gonna get this entire side done, and then I'll move on to the other side, and I'll get back to you guys with the way the body looks then. But oh, if you don't know, so your first mount is gonna be right there, and the next mount is gonna be back there. So 3 mounts aside, 6 mounts total for the body. We're gonna move on to fitting up the intake stuff, because I have to move the intercooler piping. I already did that. We're gonna put some new couplings on, and then I'll show you guys my plan for the catch cans, because we need to move the catch cans to the back of the trucks. Okay, so I just got back from lunch. I had to go watch my daughter. She was being very fussy today, but she's sleeping for now. Other parents would know. But got the new body mounts in. So all fresh new body mounts. I still haven't tightened up any of them. I shook the body. When you put body mounts in, you kind of want to shake it just so it settles and whatever. But I don't know if you can see that, but all new body mounts, front and back. These are the old mounts. So you can see why I wanted to replace these. These were pretty shot. These ones were basically separating almost every single one. Even, yeah, this one's separating right down here, and this guy's separating all around here. So body mount stuff is done. It does sit up about another ½ inch from where it was, so that's great. So next thing we're going to be doing, well, I have to tighten up the whatchamacallit is the stuff, but I need to cut this silicone hose. I'm going to show you guys in a bit. I just have like some 2.5 inch Home Depot clamp that I just had laying around to clamp the intercooler piping, just because I want to see what it would look like. I can actually show you. Let me show you guys right now. Sorry, bear with me here. Okay, so look at that. Notice something? No more catch cans. They are gone. Catch cans are sitting right over there. So we need to remount those catch cans in the back of the truck. But now you see this little Home Depot janky hose. See, everything's loose, but now this gives me access to this tower to make a mount that comes off of here. And that's the other thing I need to check too, is I don't know if it's gonna hit the hood. So I'm probably gonna do some fitment checks here and see how close I have to hug this. I want to make one tube that comes straight across and connect to this tube, and then have like, that's the only problem, is I don't know how I would fit that with the turbo here. I want to make another tube that comes off of this guy and connects to the frame, but if we can't, no biggie. There's a lot of stuff in the way, turbo stuff, the IFS steering box. So I think for now we'll just do the crossover tube. Okay, so what I ordered is in this little box right here. Let's get that stuff out, and this is what I ordered. So if you don't know what this stuff is, it's tube adapters. So you can actually take these apart. This is meant for like roll cages and stuff. So you're gonna get my idea right now. The plan is I want to mount these like this on top of here with like a little plate. You can kind of see that. Mount these in the same direction where this tube adapter separates. Mount one there, one on the other side, and then I can have the tube. I have to bend this fuel line, but make the tube come off of here, and then whenever I have to take it apart, right, so if I weld it this way, I can just unbolt it and pull that off. Because if you weld the tube from this side to that side, and let's say I have to pull the supercharger or pull a turbo or do any kind of mechanical work in the engine bay, it's going to be an absolute nightmare to do it with that tube. In fact, it might be impossible to do it without cutting the tube off. So these little guys are what I'm going to be using to mount this like, I don't know what it'd be called, maybe a strut brace or coilover tower brace, Ori brace, I'm not sure. I want to make 4 points of contact. I'm just not sure if I can do that with the accessibility I have in here. It would be tough, so we'll figure that out. For now, I'm gonna just do the one that goes over the engine like this, and then I have to put the radiator in, get all the other stuff in, and see how much room I'm working with. Because do I need 4 points of contact? No, I don't. I mean, I just would like to, just because it would be stronger, you know. But I mean, whatever, it is what it is, right? But for now, we're gonna go ahead, because the body mounts are done, I'm gonna tighten up every single body mount. You don't need to watch that. If you guys are gonna do your body mounts on a first gen Tacoma, you need 14, 17. That's it. 14 and a 17. You can do a socket, ratchet, whatever you want to do. Preferably a socket with a ratchet, or a socket with an impact gun, and an open end 14 or 17 will be easier to hold the bolt on the other side. So, but once I'm done with that, I'm gonna cut this tube. I mean, I guess I can show you guys that. It's pretty boring stuff, really. And then I ordered this elbow, this 45-degree elbow, because with the way the turbo sits, you can see it sits straight up. I want it to be facing, instead of straight up, I want it to cock it down. Pause. And then I'm gonna have to make some sort of plate to block off the water because this guy takes water. It is a miracle I haven't hydrolocked this engine. Hopefully we never hydrolock the engine. So I'd like to block off this stuff and get no water in there. And then another thing I need to do is I need to extend the MAF sensor harness. So right here's the MAF sensor harness. No fit. He no reach. I would put it over. I don't want it going over the turbo because obvious reason, turbo's hot. Even if it has this design engineering turbo blanket, it's still hot. I don't want wires going over it. So I think I'll just extend it, make it easier for myself, and then get rid of this one line. And then after that we can start, I guess, doing the tube stuff. Then after that we'll mount the catch cans. So yeah, see you in a bit. Okay, so screw it. I think I'm gonna just run the MAF sensor over it. I'll run it over the intercooler pipe. And I'll just do some heat shielding on it. The other Lexus that came in that we built a little while ago when we were doing, was it the Ford? No, was it the truck? I forget. Whatever. I think it was a truck, but the Lexus came back. We're putting in sliders, roof racks, all that good stuff. But I'm gonna finish up this stuff first. So I'm gonna get the intake pipe set, and then I need to cut this tube. So I guess I can actually set you guys up on this. Let me set you guys up on this, and I'll show you guys how I cut this kind of stuff. Is there a right way? Probably. Is there my way? Definitely. So let's cut this guy. Okay, so this is our tube that I got. It's a 2.5 inch just silicone coupler off Amazon. It's got some schmutz in there because it's from China. All I do when I cut this kind of stuff is I'll take the pipe or tube or whatever it is, take some blue tape, and I'll put it down. I think I would need about that much of it. Yeah, that should be good. And then I just wrap it around the pipe, keep it straight. For the most part, this would give you a pretty straight cut. So, see that? That's pretty straight. It's straight enough for me. It's straight enough for this truck. It's not a show truck. So, take a razor blade. I like to just get that cut going. Oh, yeah, there you go. On camera. Come on, get in there. You know what? This would work better if I didn't have a butter knife. Alright, so I don't know where my actual good razor blade is, so we're gonna go full gorilla here. We're just gonna, there we go. We're just gonna knife this guy. I already know there's gonna be people. Wow, that's gonna be an ugly cut, and I don't care. As long as it holds boost in and keeps crap out, I'm okay with it. Would it be better? Oh, there we go. Let's cut my finger off. Okay, and that's your kind of straight, kind of circular cut. Not really that hammered. It's absolutely hammered. But I'm gonna try and put it in a space where you can't really see that. Get this blue tape off. And then the rest of this silicone tubing, this will just go in the drawer. Don't throw this stuff away. I might clean this guy up with the razor blade or something, I don't know. But yeah, we'll get this on the truck and I'll show you guys what it looks like, and then we can start cutting the big 45. And I'll go actually look for my razor blade. Alright you guys, so once again, I went a little bit dumbass. 45, right? Intake filter, right? You can't hook this up like this. You see the problem here? I was supposed to order a 45 degree aluminum 4-inch fitting. I didn't. I ordered a coupler, so unfortunately the intake is gonna have to stay straight for now, but I'll show you guys this. So we got the intake piping all hooked up. This is just all loose fit. I'm gonna tighten these guys up, and then that's how the MAF sensor is gonna get hooked up. There's just enough slack in that line to allow me to do this, to run it like this. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get some heat shielding, heat sheath or whatever, and get it on here. They do sell it, Design Engineering. That's where I get all my heat stuff from. Works pretty well. I have to get some more of this gold crap to apparently blocks heat. I don't know if it works, but I've seen people use it, so I use it. But yeah, so I'm gonna just go ahead, take off a little bit more of this plastic so I can run this that way, and I can just run this line and get a little bit of a heat shielding on it. And then yeah, that's pretty much it for this week's episode. Intake system basically done. Just have to get like a 45 or get a modification done here, because I want it to sit, I want this intake cone to sit like that, so you can see like it's just slightly off with like a 45. It's not a big deal, I mean it's not a massive deal, but I'd like it to sit like this in here instead of just sticking out like that, because it makes kind of a pain. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this week's episode. Oh, whoa, the sun. All right, let me stand here. All right, you guys, so that is pretty much it for this week's episode. The sun is blaring through the garage, makes it a nightmare to film, but I need to go work on that Lexus out there. Roof rack, sliders, all that stuff, airbag delete, all that stuff. But we got a lot of stuff done today. I was stoked. We was able to air up the truck. That was sweet. Body mounts are in. Intake system is done. Next week's episode, we're gonna get on to moving the catch cans to the back of the truck. I'm figuring out the plumbing for that, and I think that might be it. That might be a pretty long process to figure that one out. I do have this piping down here, but I'm not sure if I ordered enough. If I need a little bit more, I can always make some. For those who are wondering, it's going to be a full breather system, so it's not going to return back. It'll be vented to atmosphere. I'm using these guys. These are just some Mishimoto Race. I had them installed a while ago. Honestly, you don't need expensive stuff for this. I bought them a while ago. I'm not gonna not reuse them because they're like $2.30 a pop, and there's 2 of them, so I'm not gonna throw those in the garbage. But anyways, the truck looks absolutely sweet. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.